Hello, everybody, and welcome to this session of Business Bitesize, which is taking place in the middle of the holiday season. So many of you have either been on holiday, are on holiday, or will be going on holiday. And I hope you've had a good time or will do so. So what's interesting about this time of year for me is that I tend to get very busy. And the reason I get very busy is because people literally step out of their businesses, they go on holiday, they relax, and that opens up their thinking, and they start thinking about what they want to do with their businesses and their own situations while they're on holiday. And often when we're stuck in the day-to-day business, we don't get that thinking time. So they then reach out to me when they come back as a way of moving things forward and making the changes that they want to make. So a busy time of year for me, for sure. And one of the things I wanted to do today was just take you through a fairly simple 4-step process that you can use if you're doing that thinking, coming back from holiday and want to start implementing some changes in your business. So these are the 4 steps. As we know, I do like to keep things simple, and this is really what this is about. So how do you go about changing your business? Well, the first thing, as we know, is establishing where you're trying to get to. So setting the goals and the vision, and actually importantly communicating that to the rest of the team is incredibly important. And that the goals and the vision can be for maybe a 12-month period or a 3-year period, 5 years, or even 10. But you need to have a clarity around where it is you're trying to go. And once you start to do that, you'll perhaps realize that the business isn't performing or moving you in that direction. So that's step 1. Step 2 then is to really deal with some of these burning issues that have been in your business probably for a few years, if not longer. And I would say in every case, when I start working with a business, the burning issues are prevalent. And what these things do is they just stop you moving the business forward. They stop you thinking even about the future and what it is you want to achieve, because you can't see past these burning issues, these barriers right in front of you. And it might be something like a shortage of cash, for example. It might be something like a member of the team that's on the wrong bus and we really need to move on. We've just not tackled that issue. It might be a product that's frankly obsolete that needs reinventing and we've not addressed it. It can be a number of things, but these burning issues are just barriers and people find it hard to see past them. And so we need to get them dealt with. So dealing with the burning issues really is step 2. Once we've done that, it starts to open up the thinking. And the tool that I use a lot, we've talked about it specifically in one of our sessions, is the strategic SWOT analysis. So the SWOT analysis will just allow you to start developing strategies and lead into some key actions that you need to be taking. And I think it's such a good tool because it does allow you to play to your strengths, but it also allows you to think about the weaknesses that you need to address. And there will be weaknesses in your business, but not all of them are going to hold you back. So you only need to invest time in fixing the ones that are going to stop you moving forward. Allows you then to crystallize some of the opportunities and the threats and see how all these things dovetail together. So I think as a diagnostic tool and a way of just developing some strategies fairly quickly to start taking those initial steps towards the goals, it's a really great tool. So I'd encourage you to use it. And then step 4, which is implement. So it's all too frequent that people have a plan and that just doesn't get implemented. They get back into the day job and they get dragged into the day-to-day and they just don't implement these really, really important things. So of course we encourage people to build in accountability loops, which generally in my case means catching up with people. Sometimes it's weekly, bi-weekly, most often it's monthly, just to make sure that the plans are being implemented and actions are being taken. And of course in those sessions we can also investigate what's stopping those things happening. Things do come up, things do arise, we've made wrong assumptions about things. So it's not always the case that every action we write down can just be implemented. Sometimes in the process of putting the plan into practice, we come across some barriers that we need to surmount. So if you are away, you are thinking about what you want to do with your business, I very much encourage you just to take this simple 4-step approach to start developing a plan, and most importantly to start taking those initial steps. So if you change something, something will change. If you change nothing, nothing changes. So it's a small step, a bigger step, doesn't really matter. As long as you clarify where you're trying to get to, you start to develop the strategies you're going to pursue for the next 12, 18 months, and then you start taking actions for the next 30, 90 days, your business will change. So very much encourage you to undertake that. Thank you for listening. and look forward to seeing you next time.